You already know what time it is, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for another, can't believe I'm saying this, off-season video. We have football Saturday. You don't know how happy I am to see some damn football on my TV. Anyways, in this video, I'm going to be ranking all 16 quarterbacks in the Big 12. Now, it doesn't take rocket science to explain what this video is. I'm just going to go through all 16 quarterbacks, and I'm going to give you my personal rankings and tell you why I believe they rank here. Quick disclaimer, I am not a professional. By all means, this could be the most incorrect list you have ever seen. All I ask is just listen up, and if you do not like what you're hearing, please let me know down below in the comments what you would have done instead. I like hearing everybody's opinions and take on their own list. And all I do ask is if you are new here, please subscribe. It does help the channel grow, and it does help get my name out there more. Anyways, with all that being said, let's get into the quarterback rankings. Alright, coming in at number 16, we have Haas Henny and Zane Flores. Look, keeping it a buck with you, I don't know who the hell their quarterback is, and neither do they. There's 4 players on this depth chart who are all capable of being the starter according to them, but it's really coming down to a battle between Haas Henny and Zane Flores. Regardless who's a starter, they better step the hell up, because when I say this team sucked ass last year, you think it was a fetish the way they like belt ass. They started the season 3-0 like building a glass house of a record, then you had Utah throw a fucking boulder in their direction, and it started coming down from there. They had close games, but nonetheless still could not get the job done. So trust me, they need a good bounce back, and for a good bounce back, and these guys got to start off hot. The only problem is, well, none of them has one damn passing attempt. I kid you not. Not one of them has one passing attempt in college or really any experience that says they'll do just fine, or that they could really be put above anyone else here on this list. Like, trusting this quarterback room alone is a leap of faith and a ballsy move, and will most likely lead to a season full of rough bumps. Because again, like me in the bedroom, both guys here have gotten no action on the field, so someone's gonna have to step up fast. Which I doubted already if the battle is still this close, so I'm going to leave them both here at number 16. Alright, coming at number 15, we have Bear Bachmeyer. I had to re-record this, I kid you not. I actually thought it was going to be McKay Hillstead. Either way, so we have Bear Bachmeyer because this school has found itself in a tough-ass spot, which was supposed to originally be Jake Retzlaff, who was mostly responsible for their 11-2 record last year, and looked at the program in a promising spot until allegations dropped. He decided to play Twister with somebody's sister behind closed doors, and BYU said that is a massive no-no. And they said get lost or face a suspension, so the BYU Jew took his talents to Tulane. And that's how we end up here at Bear Bachmeyer, who to nobody's surprise doesn't have much experience. I mean, it was between a true freshman and McKay Hillstead, another redshirt freshman. So the way I look at it, they have 2 unknown quarterbacks. They're forced to pick somebody to replace Jake in this stupidly unexpected situation of uncertainty. And truth being, to sum it up, I have no clue how either guy's gonna look. So I can't say I'm expecting too much from this group. I can't say BYU is safe or they're gonna look exactly the same, but it should be interesting to see how it goes. But until either one of them steps foot on the field, I'm gonna place it right here at number 15. Alright, coming in at number 14, we have Nico Marchiol. Here we have another ongoing quarterback battle at West Virginia, and with a new head coach who's already came out and said he has yet to decide still and will play who he believes is the best regardless of their experience. So in other words, it's pretty damn unknown. I do know it's not like 5 quarterbacks like the rumors were saying, and it feels like it's coming down between Marchiol and Aggies transfer Jalen Henderson, who both have seen the field in blowout games as most backups do, or the small amount of starts they were given in the last couple of years, like Henderson, who started 3 games for the Aggies with good production before his injury in the Texas Bowl, or Nico, who's played in 20 games with 3 of them actually being named a starter. So it's a situation where it's tough to say who gets to start as of now, although I would think Nico has the advantage here, being he's more familiar with the system, being under West Virginia for the last 3 years, backing up under Garrett Green and JT Daniels, and has proven he's more than capable of running this offense, just with his largest issue being his consistency. Either way, both players are still largely unproven, and with the competition still being undecided, I can't put this one too high since it might not even be the right player I'm ranking. I believe it's going to be Nico, but the coach might say otherwise, so I'm going to leave this one here at number 14. Alright, coming in at number 13, we have Taven Jackson. Originally a 4-star recruit, now on his 3rd team, transferring from Indiana to Central Florida to join an open competition between Cam Fancher and Ja'Cory Brown. Where in this battle, he's more than likely going to be the starting quarterback, although it's not 100% just yet. Although when he does get a start, all I'm going to say is he's a player who's got plenty of questions still to answer. And that's if he's able to produce at a high level player, just elevate himself in his offense at a consistent level. Since if you know who he is, you know he did get benched in 2023 for his inconsistency problems and his underwhelming stats in Indiana, and will lose the job eventually to Cincinnati quarterback Brendan Sorsby mid-season. So with his transfer, Jackson comes off as a large unknown development project who's still got plenty to work on, like his accuracy and decision making. And for UCF, if he is named the starter, the hoping head coach Scott Frost, who left back in 2017, now returning, can put Jackson in the best spot possible to succeed with this offense. So to put it simply with him, for me, he's got the size, he's got the talent to be a top Big 12 quarterback, but until he proves that he can produce at a consistent level and that he's improved from 2 years ago, he's still a large question mark, and that's still saying if he gets a job. Remember, the competition is still going. He might not even be Frost's guy. So I'm going to put him here at number 13. Alright, coming in at number 12, give me Connor Wegman. If this was the SEC rankings and he stayed with the Aggies, this motherfucker would have found his way near the bottom of the list. I, for one, was never high on Wegman. I don't think he was worth the hype he was given coming into A&M as this 5-star recruit who was going to change the program. He landed on campus 3 years ago and failed to live up what he was supposed to be, largely due to his inconsistent quarterback play and injury history. And for the Aggies, he was the final straw in the LSU game as he would get benched from Marcel Reed, and the rest is history. After that, he took to the portal and is taking his talents to the University of Houston for his junior season, where, keeping it a stack, I can't say I see him doing any better there than I did here. I ain't saying the Aggies were this elite offense, but I can guarantee the supporting cast was still margins better than what's offered at Houston. Now, again, I might be wrong because talent's still there with him. I mean, there's no denying. But how he operates is on him. And I wouldn't be shocked at all if he even gets benched here if he doesn't get off to the start they want. I'm going to give him number 12. I might not believe the hype, but I also can't say he's the worst case here. Because unlike the others below on the list, he's got the starting experience, has led his team to victory numerous times. And, well, it's a new system. So, you know, while it might not have the talent the Aggies do, sometimes a new offensive scheme itself might just be what the guy needs to play more comfortably and play a lot better. And if he can remain healthy, he might just prove a lot of people wrong, including me. So while I'm not completely sold, I'm not writing the guy off 100%, as there's still a chance they can unlock what the Aggies didn't, and that's his true potential. So benefit of the doubt, I'm going to give Connor Wegman number 12. Alright, coming in at number 11, we have Noah Fifita. Fuck me, I probably pronounced that wrong. Apologies already. Anyways, 2 years ago, I would have told you he was going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the Big 12. But see, the thing is, that was 2 years ago. And since then, he's taken a large step backwards, going from 25 and 6 touchdown reception ratio with a 72% completion rate to not even touching 20 touchdowns and tying for the most thrown interceptions within the conference. And not to mention his 60% completion rate dropping by a whole 12% within 1 year. And no, it was not entirely his fault. I mean, you could blame the coaching changes, dog shit O-line that let up nearly 11 more sacks than the year before. I mean, call it Oprah, the way shit was handed out. You get a sack, you get a sack. It was ridiculous the pressure they let up. And remember this, he's not a dual threat. You know, this is a pocket passer. So when there's no pocket to pass from, yeah, you bet your ass he ain't gonna do well. If he's not comfortable in the pocket, then the ball won't get rolling. And with all that, confidence might not even be the highest either. So you can blame a lot of things for his struggle. Regardless how talented he is, they did not provide a situation for really any quarterback to succeed in. So regression was inevitable. So the question going into this season is, can he bounce back to his 23 form? And for me, that simply relies on if Arizona can fix the issues they faced last season, notably fixing up their atrocious O-line and getting the new offensive coordinator to create a system that suits Noah better, especially now that this is going to be his first year without McMillan, who was responsible for a large part of this offense the last 2-3 years he's been the starter. So in other words, for his rebound to happen, a lot, and I mean a lot, is going to have to improve. For not only him to have a better year, but to give the Wildcats a better chance at a winning record. So a lot of questions with this team. Questions only time can answer. So until proven it was a fluke year, and he can go back to playing the way he did in 23, I'm going to place him here right at number 11. Alright, coming in at number 10, we have Caden Salter. I was big on this transfer. Since the moment it happened, I loved every part of it. I was wondering who was going to take over for Sanders once he finally goes. And once he went, Salter comes in. And I really also love the fact that they have Julian Lewis right behind him. And depending on how the battle goes between him and Salter, Salter is supposed to be the second quarterback to play for Colorado under Coach Prime. I wonder if they're gonna hang Salter's jersey as well. Anyways, unless you live under a rock, you probably have heard the name Caden Salter, who's a pretty electric talent from Liberty, where he's had a pretty interesting career so far and looks to try and fill the cleats Sanders left behind for this offense. But the million-dollar question everybody's trying to figure out is, can he do it? Because it's no secret, last season was not as great as hell. It was alright, but for what we've seen him do in 23, his 24 season looked like an absolute joke compared to it. It was mediocre and it looked nothing that Caden Salter was supposed to be. Like, we're talking his completion percentage dipped, yards per attempt dropped like a car going off a cliff. He threw for 1,000 yards less and only threw 15 touchdowns after throwing for 32 the year before. So right now it looks pretty questionable, but the hope is that he's able to bounce back out of this slump under the new program. Which, I believe it. New environment, much better offense than what he would have at Liberty. It looks like everything is set for him to make a complete rebound. Although, the only thing I am worried about is Colorado's O-line. Because, again, Colorado's O-line has always been a huge weakness, as seen as Sanders taking poundings almost every damn week. So, it should be interesting to see how Salter balls out behind it. I think he fits exactly what they're looking for. And if he's anything like he was in 23, you can expect this rank to rise fast. As he's shown before, he's more than capable of being one of the best quarterbacks in his conference. I'm going to give Salter number 10 just because we don't know which Salter we're getting. Either we're getting Salter who still has his concerns as seen in 24, or we're getting a much improved Salter who looks to bounce back to his 23 form. It's one of those moves where I really just got to see it play out to grade it really anything higher than this spot. So I'm going to give Caden Salter number 10. And coming in at number 9, we have Brandon Sorsby. Despite the Bearcats having a 5-7 record last year, Sorsby was actually solid for his first season in Cincinnati and gave them exactly what they needed at the quarterback position, proving he's more than capable of running this offense with his consistency, accuracy at 64% completion rate, being ranked 3rd best in the conference. He's a great decision maker, never putting the ball in harm's way and plays it pretty safe, and notably his underrated mobility, which 9 rushing touchdowns and nearly 500 rushing yards don't lie. He's a threat on the move, he's a threat in the air, and I'm just hoping what we saw last year, he continues to build on this as he's been doing since he's been playing for Indiana. I don't have much to say to Brandon here, so I'm going to put him right at number 9. Alright, coming in at number 8, we have Jalen Daniels. If I had $1 for every time this guy got hurt, and no, I don't mean that as a hating way or just a hateful thing. I think he's a damn decent quarterback if I've ever seen one, but when I say I mean I'd be rich with how easy this dude's body breaks like glass hitting concrete. He hasn't had one fully healthy season. Last year was about his only damn chance of doing so. It was his only season playing in every game, but required surgery right after because knee problems he had during the season. Like, he cannot stay 100% healthy is what I'm getting at. Like, there's always something wrong. 2022, played 9 games, dealt with injuries. 23 played 3 games due to injuries. Last year he had his knee issue, not even in 2025 yet. He's already limited in practice because of the knee procedure from last year. I'm saying it here, 100% healthy. Jalen Daniels is an absolute menace. He is a menace on the field. Yes, he has his struggles and inconsistencies. I believe he can work on his decision making and just overall processing. But when he gets his shit together, this team is pretty good, and he's probably one of the best quarterbacks in college football. When he gets rolling, you fucking bet he's going to keep rolling. Like last year started ugly for the Jayhawks, but they eventually got it together once Daniels locked in. Same with the coaching staff, the team started seeing more success. It just sucks, it was a bit too late in the year for that. But depending on how it goes this year and if he's healthy, I can see them making another bowl like back in 22. They got a new receiving corps, so it should be dope to see how Daniels will look with them. Just for the love of all things holy, stay healthy and just remain consistent. For the sake of it being your final career and, maybe your really last chance of making any draft noise, just don't become another Cam Rising. Like, Jalen Daniels is just too damn talented to not bounce back. Like, if we go strictly off talent, I'm telling you, I think he's one of the best in the conference and one of the best in the nation. It's just he's got to go out on the field and prove it. I'm going to put Daniels right here at number 8. Coming in at number 7, we have Devin Dampier. I actually like this transfer. I was looking a lot at the transfer portal, and I was just seeing a lot of the quarterbacks' names. And when I saw this, I was like, damn, this is a massive dub for Utah. Because if you've seen what their quarterback room has looked like with a hurt Cam Rising, you would know they need this more than anybody. Like, it seems they got that position solved now by filling the hole with this stud and perhaps one of the portal's best kept secrets. Like, this guy produces like a fucking video game. Posted nearly 2,800 passing yards with, get this, 1,000 rushing yards. And again, it just keeps getting better with him. 19 rushing touchdowns. 19. What in the actual hell? And while he does have his issues drastically with his turnovers and decision making, the talent is there. And my God, under the right system, who knows what he's capable of? Like, the tools with Dampier are through the roof and scream crazy dual threat potential. And again, for Utah, this is what you want. And the best part, he already knows the system. I mean, big reason he came to Utah was following offensive coordinator Jason Beck from New Mexico. So since day one of landing on campus, he already knows what's up with the program. And truthfully, like I mentioned with the concerns, if he could tighten up his decision making through the air, the Utes found themselves the answer for turning this offense around. So to sum it up with Dampier, the talent's there, production is there. Now it's just up for him to show he's the real deal against Big 12 defenses. This is going to be a great one to watch. I'm going to give Dampier number 7. And coming in at number 6, give me Baron Morton. Guns up, baby. I mean, call it bias, but to those who don't know, Texas Tech is my second team more or less. So while I might talk a lot about Bama, trust me, I still got some love for my Red Raiders. Anyways, Baron Morton, talk about big improvement right here. Within one season, he went from 1,700 passing yards with a 15-8 touchdown interception ratio and a 62% completion rate to 3,300 passing yards with a 27-8 touchdown interception ratio and maintaining a 63% completion rate. And not to mention the only quarterback in recent Tech history to start every game in a season since Mahomes. And truthfully, he's got what it takes to be one of the best quarterbacks in the Big 12 and let alone the country. Strong arm, 5 years of consistent experience, proven production, and leadership. Great IQ and a very accurate passer, whether he's in the pocket or on the move. You can always count on Morton to dime these short to intermediate throws. And now that he's going to be 100% going into next year after the shoulder surgery he just had, for the issues that bugged him the last 2 seasons, you can expect this man to go off. So that is one thing to look forward to. And notably, the talent he's going to be surrounded by. I mean, Tech ranks second best in the transfer portal this offseason. So trust me, we got something cooked up from Morton. So I have a lot here to believe as long as he's healthy, and if he can deliver another masterpiece of a season like he did last year, Tech's got a pretty damn good chance of being contenders for the Big 12 title. I can say a lot of things about Morton, just know I'm very high on him as a talent, and it's been such a great thing to see him improve year by year. And I'm really looking forward to see what he's going to do this year, my Red Raiders. I'm going to give Baron Morton number 6. Alright, coming in at number 5, we have Rocco Beck. Someone said he's in a more elite Brock Purdy, and honestly, I can't unsee it. If consistency was a person, it's Rocco Beck. Like, his first 2 seasons as starter are stupidly identical in a good way. Both going over 3,000 passing yards, 23 touchdowns his first year, and 25 the last. Which, fun fact, he only has 1 game in his entire career at Iowa State where he hasn't thrown 1 or more touchdowns. Talk about crazy. And that's not to mention, he also led them to their best record yet in school history. So, safe to say, he's pretty damn good, and there's a lot to like about his game. Strong field vision, killer accuracy paired with his decision making, clutch leadership as seen in multiple comebacks throughout the year, and his mobility, which I think is his most underrated asset by far. Mostly used on the quarterback sneak plays, but if there's a little opening, just watch him fly through. Like, a play I really like to bring up would be against Cincinnati, where the ball was snapped too high out of reach, and what usually will lead to their defense taking advantage of this and getting a stop, until he was able to grab it and just haul ass into the end zone off the small blocks he got in his unscripted play. Or even the way he uses his mobility and improvise and scramble until he finds his target. He's truly a talent, and you have to watch to understand how impressive he is. And this year should be interesting to see how he adjusts to the challenges of a new offense with new wideouts from the portal, since Higgins and Noah are gone. But nonetheless, I still think he's going to do very well, and doesn't give me much to say he's in for a rough year. I expect great things for him in the Cyclones offense. Give me Rocco Beck at number 5. Alright, coming in at number 4, we have Avery Johnson. If we were going strictly off talent and athleticism, I think he's easily top 3 as far as potential, and is probably the most talented quarterback in this conference at his ceiling. Like, we are talking about a dual threat menace who is a powerhouse of an athlete. Someone who can destroy your secondary in the air on his own 2 feet. And for only having 1 full year as a starter, he's making his name known already across the Big 12. As this high upside electric talent filled with confidence who's only just getting started. I mean, if you've seen the guy play, there's really no other words I could say to describe him myself. If you know who he is, you know damn well exactly all the talent I'm talking about. My only concerns with Jonathan's game would be his inconsistency, as seen by his completion percentage, turnovers when facing tough pressure. Despite him showing up in big games, he still has his moments where a throw is gonna look forced and will eventually be picked off, and his decision making ultimately as far as reading coverages. But nonetheless, these concerns do not bother me with him because, again, it was just his first season, and clearly he's a talent who's still developing to become a more polished passer with tools that outweigh his flaws. And when he's able to sharpen up and improve on things like his accuracy while remaining healthy, the Big 12's gotta watch out. Like, it ain't even funny how quick he is going to soar to the top, let alone becoming one of the best dual threats in the nation. He's a player I'm excited to see next year, same with others for good reasoning, and a lot of people have very high hopes. And I hope after the offseason they had, he's ready to come out firing. Hell, I'm looking forward to week 1, Denver versus Iowa State. That's gonna be fucking cinema. And I know I say this part a lot, but he's someone who I would not be shocked if he was a dark horse Heisman candidate at some point during the next few years while he's still in college. I'm going to give Johnson number 4. He's a player I'm excited to see. He's a player who I have no doubt in my mind is going to ball out next season. I really hope he shows us a lot more of his talent. And I really hope he just takes that large leap forward because damn is he good. Number 4 in my books. And coming in at number 3, we have Josh motherfucking Hoover. Perhaps one of the most underrated quarterbacks in all of college at the moment, who's a very strong arm pocket passer, took a massive leap last season, leading the conference in passing yards, going from 2,200 to nearly 4,000 with a much more improved completion percentage. Now, let me just say for a minute, I love the way he rips this damn thing. Like, we are talking about a very quick release with a smooth throwing motion that provides just enough touch behind it to always find itself over the defender's head and right into the receiver's arms. In other words, dude's money. I mean, with the dimes he provides, and you could say it was all mainly the receivers, which were very underrated themselves, that made these amazing catches. But for all the times a play has looked lost, you can always rely on Hoover to find another way with his mobility. And now, I'm not saying his mobility is nothing elite or anything that said he's got dual threat potential. It's solid enough to say he's not a damn statue and knows when to either take it in himself or improvise out of pocket and find someone down the field. I only have a few concerns with Hoover. Number 1 for me will be his deep ball. Now, while he has no struggle getting it down there, the struggle itself is getting it down there at the right timing. It's good, but it comes off as pretty inconsistent at times, where his deep ball is either a giant hit or miss. And number 2, he's a turnover machine. I mean, he's a bit of a turnover machine, whether it's fumbling or a pick that will eventually cost him the game. It's no secret to turn the thing over when you have more picks than the year before and 6 fumbles to add on to it as well. So I would consider this a work in progress, which I really hope he works on in the offseason. Regardless, even with the issues, he's still a guy I'd want to lead my offense. I believe he's truly got it all. I mean, the arm talent, the high IQ, the ability to process the field at a fast pace, locker room leadership for someone who was forced to take over quarterback 1 after Chandler Morris's injury 2 years ago, and since then has not made them regret the decision yet. He's someone who I also believe will be a dark horse candidate for the Heisman either this year or the next if he continues to stay, and he will most likely be a first round talent by the time he's done with TCU. I'm gonna put him at number 3. I think this year will truly be something special, but it really depends how the new receiving core looks. If he's able to produce the same way he did last season. All I know is expectations are high, and he surely will not disappoint. He slept on until he isn't, and if he wants to establish himself as one of the country's best, he's got to deliver. I'm going to give Josh Hoover number 3. And coming in at number 2, we have Sawyer Robertson. I talked about Sawyer in my draft video last year because I thought he was entering, but to sum it up, really good talent and just about saved Baylor's season last year once he got thrown in. Going from shaky at the start to finishing strong with a 6-game win streak before a close game loss in the Texas Bowl against LSU, while also saving his head coach's ass in the process since he was on the hot seat for a minute there before Robinson took over. And the moment he did take over, he came in, dropped 3,000 yards like it was nothing with a perfect 28-8 touchdown interception ratio, with 4 rushing touchdowns to land him at an 8-5 record, flipping around the program from their 3-win disaster of a season the year before. And while doing so, also led the Big 12 in QBR and 83 points. And now instead of preparing to be a backup in the offseason like he was before, he gets the full thing as the guaranteed quarterback 1. He might have not played the best teams, but his impact doesn't lie. I mean, just look at Baylor going into this year. You could tell the confidence in this offense is at its highest. Knowing one of the most important positions is stabilized by a player who's only going to continue to deliver and improve and play his best under the bright lights. And looking at their schedule this year, Robertson's got some tough defenses ahead of him, so this should be great to see as far as seeing him against and hopefully winning against top tier competition, but also for his future draft stock and showing he's got what it takes to be that guy. I'm going to give Sawyer Robertson number 2. I think if you have him at number 1, it's fine by me, but for me, he's number 2 for now. And depending on next year goes, he's got a really strong case for being entirely the best in the conference. And to nobody's surprise, coming in at number 1, Sam Levitt. I have no words to really describe why he's number 1. I mean, the talent speaks for itself. I'm sure if you watch college football, you know damn sure who Levitt is, and you know exactly why he ranks number 1 in most people's rankings. I mean, just what he did last year for his first year was nothing but amazing. Started the season on nobody's radar other than that one transfer portal quarterback from Michigan State. But by December, he was damn near the face of the Big 12, leading Arizona State to a championship game and would take him into the playoffs against Texas. Yes, Scatterbo bailed him out a good amount of time. Yes, Scatterbo bailed him out a good amount of times. We definitely cannot say Scatterbo was not a giant helping hand. He was basically an entire offense, especially when pressure got tough. But even with Scatterbo, you cannot deny Levitt's dual threat ability made everything so much easier. Great accuracy, great mobility, smart reads, and played some of his best football on the big stages. Showcasing he's a name you're going to look out for next year when you think of some of the league's best dual threats. And now it seems heading into next year, he's got a lot of talent to surround him in hopes they can make a repeat appearance in the Big 12 title and hopefully in the playoffs. And without Scatterbo, all the attention falls on Levitt, and if he's able to take an even bigger step with this team and keep the momentum going, I got him at number 1. I don't think there's an argument for anyone to say otherwise, and I think depending on how his second year goes as the starter and what he does without Scatterbo, he might just be launched into Heisman talks if he's able to somehow lead him down the same path. But I have no other words to describe Sam Levitt. He is my number 1 quarterback for the Big 12. And that will do it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching another random recap. I really hope y'all did enjoy this ranking video. I know I sure as hell did. I mean, I love doing ranking videos for everything. I mean, I don't know, something about it, just the entire process of it. Learning about new players or players I already knew, but learning even more about them. It's just a fun process overall. I tried my best. Once again, I'm not perfect. You know, nobody is perfect. There's no such thing as the perfect ranking list because rankings are just a personal opinion. You're not meant to agree with me. This was a video meant for entertainment, nothing serious. So I really hope y'all did enjoy, and I will see you all on the next random recap.